On behalf of the commissioners and staff of the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, and on behalf of the Ministry of Telecommunications, Science, Technology, and Industry, it is an honor for me to welcome you here today. Dr. the Honorable Ralph E. Gonsalves, Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, etc., of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, other members of Cabinet, other members of Parliament, the Honorable St. Clair Leacock, other members of the head table, Honorable Dr. Gerald Thompson, Minister of Telecommunications, Science, Technology and Industry, Mr. Kenneth Douglas, Chairman of the NCRC, Director of the NTRC, Mr. Apollo Knights, Mr. Ember Charles, Managing Director of ECTEL, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Telecommunications, Mrs. Shirley Francis, other permanent secretaries, Ms. Sandra Davis, head of government departments and other senior government officials, members of the press, Radio 705, who is carrying these proceedings live, other members of the press, members of civil society, members representing the Chamber of Industry and Commerce, the Small Business Association, ladies and gentlemen, telecommunication providers, a pleasant good morning to you all. It isn't very often that you chair a session and you use your chairman's prerogative to introduce the Honorable Prime Minister. But to the extent that it is my privilege today, I do not wish to detain you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Cabinet colleagues, the Honorable Senator Leacock, the heads of the important state agencies, including NTRC and all the executives and permanent secretaries, the members of the civil society organizations who are here and other professionals, the members of the press and the service providers. In Barbados, which is supposed to be the country with the highest penetration rate, it's 21%, and we are currently at 10%. So you see, there's some distance for us to go. And the question of connectivity, I want those who are listening to know that the internet can help you in agriculture. And we have the learning resource centers, and those who are in the agricultural sector don't feel that it's just the kids from the schools must go there. You can also go and get yourself acquainted with the computer and how to get onto the internet. There a lot of work is being done in the area of health and the health systems. Of course, the most dramatic progress we have seen is in the area of education, and I don't want to go through all the details. Minister Thompson may speak about some of those, but we have done a phenomenal amount of work in that regard at all levels, the primary school, the secondary school, the post-secondary levels. The same thing, we can handle it in transportation. In every single area of economic activity, we can bring the internet facilities to our benefit and advantage. Now, although we have made a lot of progress in education with the internet and the use of information technology, acquisition and use of information technology skills, we're still not doing as well as we should do. We have to have the playing field level. As we are finding a situation that students who have a computer at home and connected to the internet, they have a big advantage in doing their homework assignments and other school-related work, such as the research for their school-based assessments. And these students, generally speaking, are able to complete their assignments better and on time as compared to those students who are having no access to a computer or the internet. We really have to do something more about this. We have made a lot of progress, but still there's work to be done. I mean, it's like you can't have homes without pipe-borne water, where one set of children had to jog water in the morning or at night. Fortunately, and I see CWSA is represented here by the other Joan, we have 90-something%, 96, 98% of pipe-borne water in people's homes. Electricity, we have a similar percentage, because you can't have an education revolution with children studying, reading the book under a lamppost. You have to have electricity in the homes, and that is what we have done. In the same way, we have to do it with the internet. It is true that we have some community facilities, but they're not done and managed as well as they should be. I've addressed that question, and I know we have seen some improvements in that regard. And of course, we have in the schools, but sometimes the children can't always stay back, and they have to go home, they have to take the bus, and they can't stay in the computer room after school to do some of their work, and so on and so forth. So we have to try, therefore, to see how we can have more computers in people's homes, especially for the children. And I was discussing this with the officials in the Ministry of Finance, and we are searching for some money where we can have the computers provided on fairly generous terms, and in some cases so generous that it would be very difficult for people not to have. I think we have to make the investment, because that is one form of ensuring sustainable livelihoods. And Kelly and Angus have to help us in terms of your company and Lime in spreading out. We have the backbone already. We have all the fiber optic cables. We have everything. Is to now to spread it through the system, and we need to work. And I know Gerald is hard at work on that particular issue. Of course, I know some people will be saying, well, Ralph, you're quite right in speaking about all those benefits, but what about the downside to the computers, to the internet? And there are downsides. Cybercrime.